To steer away from how race and ethnicity plays a significant role in the individual's religious experience, beliefs, and practices, it is important to focus on the controversial topic on whether the individuals should be sexually active with another individual before marriage. Now, of course, this shouldn't even be a question because religious scripture clearly, specifically, and directly answers that question. But the important part is why would there is the individual who practices religion is tempted to do such things? And to answer that, TV networks and the internet is primarily responsible because of the inappropriate content and material that the individual is daily and consistently is exposed to. Such practices ultimately lead to the individual forgetting the meaningfulness and importance of waiting to share that with the person that until they marry them. Well, that being said, according to the quote, a very sarcastic quote stated in the Forbidden Fruit, Sex and Religion in the Lives of American Teenagers, the author states, religion is only about network and social contact, supervised peer groups, and organizational participation is what these companies want us to believe. Now, institutions such as the TV networks and internet are responsible, and not only responsible, but they follow and support such inappropriate exposure just to further their own agendas. We should also focus on whether age and gender play a significant role in the individual's development of social beliefs. There was a research study done in the conducted on the review of the research of religious research, and it was actually focused on the adolescent group in the Protestant church community. The reason being why they decided to do it on the adolescent group is because the individuals between the age of 13 and 18 are actually less affected by the outside world in terms of being educated on certain things, as well as having the promote occupational promotions that would shape their religious beliefs. And so surprisingly, the results of the study showed that age played very little effect, as well as gender, because they also wanted to see whether males or females were more religious than one another. And those two played very little effect on the individual's religious experiences and practices. What did play the major part is in the area that they conducted their research, the main factor was the region and disposition of the research. And that being said, in conclusion, we can see that gender and age does not necessarily play much of a role as much as the regions that this research was based on, in the region's race and ethnical backgrounds of the individuals is what primarily drove their religious practices. In conclusion, I've gone over the way race and ethnicity plays a huge part of the individual's religious practices and beliefs. We've talked about the difference of African American teenagers to Asian American teenagers being less consistent than the African American teenagers, as well as the difference between Latino American teenagers practicing in an enclosed type community versus the white American teenagers being widely open and accepted of their religious beliefs and experiences, as well as discuss the controversial topic of whether the individual should wait until marriage to proceed with their sexual desires. And lastly, we've noted that age and gender doesn't necessarily play a significant role in the development stages of one's religious beliefs. Of course, as the society progresses and generations come and move on, the morals and values will be changed throughout time, and the majority of that is the responsibility of TV networks being overly explosive or showing too much exposure on the inappropriate materials that would subconsciously um, bring those thoughts to the individual who is actually just practicing to be a religious individual. Only time will tell where this takes and if more individuals, teenagers, will be practicing religion and being very consistent with it. So yeah, only time will tell with that, and there is very little that anyone else can do as far as force someone to do it. It has to come from the individual's desire to seek out there and be faithful and strong into what they believe and stick to what their beliefs are.